So what is going on YouTube, and it is SLG Unlimited here, and welcome to my first YouTube video. So in my YouTube channel, I'm going to be documenting my two cars and also my motorbike. So for my cars, I'm going to be doing the engine swap on them, and also for my motorbike, I'm going to be documenting when I go for rides and stuff like that. So I want you guys, well, there's a lot of mosquitoes here, so I want you guys to just come along my journey and learn as I learn. I want you guys to feel encouraged as well, because I'm doing my front yard. I'm not a special mechanic or anything like that. And yeah, so I'm going to be doing engine swap for my cars and basically all servicing for my motorbike and going for rides and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoy and sit back and relax, and yeah, cheers for watching. Alright guys, so I'm going to introduce to you first my CB400. And basically it is a LAMS bike. So in Australia you're meant to have a LAMS approved, so it's a learner approved motorcycle, and I think it's between basically like 125cc to I think 700 or 600 or something like that, but the 700 and 600s are restricted, so they're not like a full learner motorcycle. So what I have here is obviously my CB400 Super 4, and it's got VTEC, which is interesting. And VTEC actually starts at 7,000 and then it goes all the way and redlines at 15. And yeah, so the color scheme is red and black. It is a 2010 model, and it's funny thing because actually when I bought it second hand from the owner, they said that the person before them fell on it and then they resprayed it, but good there wasn't a thing on the tank. Like I double checked and I think the tank's pretty dirty too. Haven't ridden, haven't washed it in a while, but yeah. And so that white, I think it's meant to be white with the reddies actually. So yeah, the black and red is not the original color, so it got resprayed. But other than that, it is, well, what I've done to it is I've put new tires. So what I have on the front are Pirelli Angel GTs, and by riding them they're very sticky and they're used for commuting, and I heard that you can use them for the track as well. So yeah, so I got them on the front, and then I do have them on the back too. And what I've done, I got these bar mirrors. I actually got it from eBay off a guy in Wollongong, and I bought both for 10 bucks, and surprisingly he also gave me free pegs as well. Like he's like, yeah, if you want pegs as well, I'll give it to you for free. I'm like, hectic. So yeah, he gave me those, and then I got these shorty levers as well from China. I thought it would actually take like a month, but it actually took a week to come from China to here. So the guy I bought it from on eBay is pretty good. And then I changed the light as well. I got a white light instead of the OEM yellow. And what I have on my bike as well, I have a Delkevic long exhaust, stain tune I think. Yeah, it doesn't sound as great, but it is pretty quiet obviously because it's like a thick can, like the stock can you get on a bike. But yeah, and what I have, I've also stitched up my seat. So it was ripped, if you can see. It's like, it's meant to be there, the stitching. Yeah, so I did do my own stitching. I got the sewing needle, you know what I mean. And I did that. So, and I also done my oil. So I've done oil and oil filter. So you can see in there I've got a K&N oil filter, and for oil I've got Motul 7100. I forgot the what oil it was, but yeah. On to my Golf. Let me go in. So yeah, this is the Golf Mark IV, and this is not the GTI, this is 2-litre sport one, and this is the 2004 model. And I've actually already have done some cosmetic change to it. So I've taken stuff from my GTI and put it on my Golf Sport. Yes. So if we come in, and I'll show you that yeah, so I've got the Recaros, and I put the Recaros from the GTI, and I've also put the Recaros in the back as well. So if you can see, I put the Recaros in the back, and they're actually in pretty good condition for 2001 car, and the Recaros are actually pretty good. I mean, if you look at it, it is pretty good. As you can see, this is 217 reaching 218. So for Volkswagen, and it has a lot of K's in it, people say that, you know, they don't trust European cars, that don't last well. I mean, if you take care of the car and you do the maintenance of it, and you don't really push it too hard, then it will last, and it'll do good to you, really. Actually, the reason why I want to do the engine swap to the car is because actually the clutch on this car is actually worn out. So when I give it a rev, or when I want to launch it, I know, it actually revs, like, let's say it'll go to like 3,000, and I wouldn't go anywhere. Like, I'll just be like standing still, or be like rolling, and yeah, and then I wouldn't go anywhere. And you can tell when the clutch is worn out, and I give it at any gear and it'll just like go nowhere. 85 kilowatts that this car has, but now with age, obviously power depreciates and goes down with age. So yeah, it's probably yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Power probably pretty low. So now if you look at the headline, actually it's actually not sagging. It's pretty I wouldn't say it's that dirty, but it's still intact, and I kept it pretty clean. Yeah, and all the lights work and everything like that. 2001 Golf GTI Mark IV, and yeah, I will show you guys. Here is the Golf, and yeah, so what I've done actually, so the reason why it doesn't have the front side fender wing is because I've actually taken it off and I put it on the Sport, because this one was actually really clean. So yeah, so I took the mirror from it, and because actually what happened was on that car, on the, I'll show you guys, so to Sport. So yeah, so that's the new fender from the GTI. This is the mirror that I've got on the GTI as well, and you can see a bit of scuffing here. So what happened was the previous owner before my brother, who we bought it from, hit a ute, and so basically all that side got scratched up, and obviously the mirror got cracked. So yep, I took that off and I put it in there, and yeah, this is the GTI. It's got a sunroof as well, and it's actually working. And for the Sport, it doesn't have a sunroof. I actually did have it debadged for the 2-litre Sport, and I got the badge back from here to GTI because I figured it looked even better with the badge. And yeah, so you see it looks pretty good. I mean, the reason why I think the person did sell it, the owner of the GTI, because it got it pretty knocked up here on the front. I mean, it's not even that bad. It's only metal, it's only cosmetic. Engine wise, it is all fine. Yeah, this was actually my old mirror. You see it's cracked up, and then I'll get to the MAF as well, because this was the original MAF, but it didn't have the MAF sensor in there, so I had to buy second-hand MAF. It is pretty knocked up in the front, if you can see. It doesn't close. I got the old battery in there, and for some reason there is water leaking. Oh, because actually it did rain, and yeah, this doesn't have a mirror, the passenger front mirror. I mean, doesn't have a window, sorry. And I had to cover it, but even though through the cover it got drenched, and obviously the water came through, the seat got pretty drenched up too, and there's some water in there too. So if you actually look in the driver's seat, look how pretty bad that is. That is pretty bad. But yeah, if you look up there, it's pretty damaged. The headline is alright until you go to the back, and the back is pretty, it's hanging down too. But I'm surprised that the sunroof is still working. And yeah, so talking about the seats, I did put my 2-litre seats back in here and in the back. and then you got my old front fender wing for the 2-liter Sport here in the back. And also, if you look, the Recaros, the reason why I'm not putting driver's seat one in my car is because it got mangled there. So let me show you. Pop open the hood. So this, guys, is the 1.8 liter turbo, and you know, so when I first got the engine, it actually didn't have the ignition amplifier, which the guy needed. So which is that right there. That is the ignition amplifier, which runs, I think it runs well, the connection to the coils, and it helps it stop, you know, I think it helps it to run in sequence. So if you got a misfiring issue with AGUs, the most common issue is the ignition amplifier blowing up because it gets overheated. That is why it's connected to the airbox. So if it is screwed actually to a metal piece under it, and then that metal piece is like a heat sink, which is pretty much connected inside of the airbox. So when cold air runs through the airbox, it also cools the heat sink connected to the ignition amplifier. And also, this is the second-hand map sensor that I got that was missing from the car. And when you come in here, I think you can try look. Yeah, if you see that green, I've actually got the I got a brand new coolant sensor temperature, because when I was running it, the coolant was actually shooting from that point, and that was no good. I actually thought I had a leak, but I figured out that it was just I didn't have a coolant sensor temperature, coolant temperature sensor. So yeah, and obviously the battery's torn up. These terminals are not in good condition. There's obviously corrosion in it, so I have to change those. So yeah, this is a AGU 1.8 liter turbo 20 valve. This is a 2 liter Sport. It is, yeah, a 2 liter 8 valve, unlike the 1.8T, which is a 20 valve. And the power difference is 25 kilowatts, which is from factory, because this is 85 and then this is 110. So 25 kilowatt difference, pretty, I think you could feel it. So yeah, so if you lift the cover up, I actually don't understand why they did this, because if you actually want to service your what's the name, spark plugs, you're gonna have to take the manifold off, the intake manifold, because it's actually in the way, because you have to go under there. But yeah, this is a 2 liter one, and I'm going to be doing a swap. So I'm gonna have to obviously take the battery out, take the airbox, take all the connections from them, and disconnect all the connections. You know, we got the windshield pump, we got the power steering here, we got the coolant reservoir, we got the brake reservoir here, battery, airbox, and then also for the ECU for these Golf Mark 4 are actually hidden in there. Engine bay is basically the same for both, except for the engine. So if you see here, everything is in the right position for it, exactly the same. And you got your battery, you got your airbox, and you got your ECU in there. Your wiring harness comes through here, and then for the turbo, I've got it in the back here. And I know the main difference as well, what I have to change is the drive shaft. So I got obviously, and I got bigger rotors and bigger brakes in the front compared to the 2 liter Sport. These are little baby ones, because you're not making much power with the Sport one. As I go and as I take things apart and do the job, I'll be explaining more about what I'll be doing and the process behind it. And yeah, so basically as I do the things and as I record them, I'm going to be talking about them and get the angle right. Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to be documenting and what tools you need and what torque specs as well. Like you look in the service manual and then it will tell you about the torque specs as well. And yeah, so enjoy it, and yeah, see you guys soon.